In my view, an exactitude of laws of physics should equal an exactitude of laws of events. So if you can understand that particular scenario there, then all you have to do is ask yourself, well, what does that take place in? What is the one thing that consumes everything? What is the one thing that consumes everything, both inanimate and animate, everywhere? The one thing everything has to do, which is compete. It's evolution. Everything has to compete. Even inanimate objects like this thing right here, this slide rule right here for a guitar. This design had to compete to be here. It had to work its ass off to be here. You probably can't see it because it's transparent, but it's there, man, and it had to work its butt off to get there. In terms of evolution, it had to beat out all the other slide rules. It's not a slide rule, it's a slide for a guitar. But it had to beat them all out, and it won in terms of evolution, but it had to compete, okay? Survival of the fittest. As I observe the universe more and more, I'm actually getting to the point now where I literally think in terms of pure evolution. Down to an atomic level. I actually perceive the universe as pure evolution, which may or may not be correct. I even see inanimacy now as important to the evolutionary process as the living. It is the clockwork mechanism of the 4 large superworlds of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune that actually gravitationally control and perturb the cometary and asteroid debris of this solar system that are flying around this solar system like out-of-control bullets that may or may not impact the Earth to cause mass extinctions, which will ultimately destroy or raise the evolution of intelligence on this planet. Because you see, if you have a mass extinction impact, which isn't really mass extinction, well, it is for a lot of species, but basically if you have an impact that destroys 95% of all the life on the planet Earth, and the remaining 5% are the only ones that can then breed to go on and pass on only their strong genes into the future, then you're actually raising the intelligence of the planet. That's actually the way evolution works. The universe basically wants to kill off 90% of everything that ever lived, and then the remaining 10% it wants to have sex. But see, there has to be a precision to the whole thing too, though, because you see, if those 4 worlds actually allowed too many impacts to take place on the planet Earth, it'll wipe out everything. There'll be nothing left. And if they allow too little impacts, then the evolution will take forever. It'll take another 2 billion years just to evolve humanity. So there has to be a clockwork precision to the whole thing. Ultimately, if you want, you can apply evolution to almost any phenomenon that takes place in terms of the universe. From the evolution of population 1 and population 2 stars, through their supernova explosions, you have the creation of the elements which are necessary for planetary formation, and eventually the evolution of life and intelligence. It begs the question, things like pulsars and quasars, are they involved in the evolutionary process too? The deeper we get into understanding cosmic phenomenon and the structure of this universe, the more and more it seems to be related solely to the evolution of life, to the ultimate end of the evolution of intelligence. The more that it seems to be a mechanism ultimately for the evolution of consciousness. But don't ever underestimate the psychoticness of this universe, okay? This universe is capable of anything. Anything. It may very well be that the universe evolved humanity just so we could develop technology and eventually develop nuclear weapons so that we could have a nuclear war, so that we could blast the cockroach with enough radiation to kill off 95% of them so that the remaining 5% could evolve and become resistant to it so they could make their way into space 4 billion years from now and withstand the cosmic rays so they could ultimately make it to the center of the galaxy and attend some big-ass cockroach orgy of demented proportion. And all our culture is just one big side effect. Everything from the Mona Lisa to the Taj Mahal to Van Halen 2, just a big-ass side effect that the universe has to put up with to get to this other demented objective. And it doesn't mind waiting around 4 billion years to have an orgasm. As long as it knows it's coming, I guess it's okay, In terms of mass extinction on the planet Earth, we've had 5 major mass extinctions on this planet. One of them, of course, was the extinction of the dinosaurs. It usually involves an asteroid impact or a cometary impact, or maybe in some cases a volcanic eruption to create a mass extinction. But mass extinctions aren't necessarily a bad thing, unless of course you happen to be in it, then it sucks. But basically, in terms of the evolution of the Earth, mass extinction is what propels evolution forward. And we're going to have more of them. Now, in terms of this mass extinction, this is what I refer to as a technological mass extinction. That's different from your usual run-of-the-mill cliche mass extinction of yesteryear that we used to have. I mean, the old days of the old kind of mass extinction where you had an asteroid or a comet come down and collide into the Earth and then kick up a bunch of dust and block out plant life, and then everybody had to get smaller. You know, that is just so dial-up, okay? It is so dial-up. Only a joke. It was only a joke. Kidding? Absolutely only a joke. Could happen at any time. You know, I could see the God sitting around saying, did that motherfucker say what I think he just said? Did that motherfucker say what I think he just motherfucking said? Hand me that goddamn motherfucking ass right off that shelf over there. Say it again, motherfucker. Say it one more motherfucking time. I'll drop this motherfucker on you, you know, goddamn. God damn it, you know what I mean. Probably not a good idea to fuck with the gods. I do it frequently. It's probably not a good idea. I noticed I've had several close calls lately, and I've been fucking with them a lot lately, and there might be something there, maybe. I'm not going to do it as much anymore.